Hello, I'm Deb Dietz with SMB Value Partners, and welcome to SMB's Business Education e-learning campus. I am your instructor for this masterclass on strategic planning. Today, you'll learn how to confidently develop your smart strategic plan for your business following a proven step-by-step business planning process that will transform and propel your business from the status quo towards making money, saving money, and building profit. And I'm delighted that you're with me today. So why strategic planning? Why are you here today? Strategic planning is a process that defines your vision for your business from 4 different perspectives: from a financial perspective, from a customer perspective, from an internal process and operations perspective, and from an employee perspective. It's a way of making your business successful through a framework of strategic thinking and vision that guides all your business decisions. It's also a pragmatic way of identifying opportunities for revenue and sales growth while simultaneously identifying opportunities to reduce operating expenses, ultimately improving your business's profitability. So today, my promise to you is I'm going to show you how you can go from feeling stuck in the status quo to feeling energized with a path forward, experiencing a business transformation that is propelled by a strategic plan that is smart, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. And if you stay with me until the end and decide to go on this strategic planning journey with me, I'll give you the opportunity to get your hands on a special bonus I just added to my brand new program. And I'll give you all of the exciting details at the end of this masterclass. But I do have a request. No distractions, please. I'd like you to stay with me, be in the moment, stay focused on the class, on the master class. Turn off your cell phone, if I may ask that of you. Shut down all the other windows on your computer and close your door. I have much to share. So, you're in the right place today, right now in this master class, if you're motivated to get out of the status quo so that you can move your business forward. You're in the right place if you need to develop and implement a strategic plan that is smart by following a step-by-step proven planning process. You're in the right place if you need to develop your strategic plan right now and you really can't afford to wait the typical 3 months or so that the process takes on average. And you're also in the right place if you need to develop your strategic plan that will transform your business and you can't afford an expensive outside consultant. And I know something about that. So what are my credentials? I have over 25 years of strategic planning experience working with top Fortune corporations like Baxter Labs, Grainger, Citigroup, Cummins Engine Company, and R.R. Donnelley. I've also worked extensively with small and mid-sized businesses, nonprofits, and membership associations in numerous industries, working in consulting services, but also in leadership roles at the director, vice president, and chief level, working in strategic planning, marketing, sales, business development, and operations management. I have developed proprietary planning workflows and processes that maximize business results. These processes are built from my personal experience and are step-by-step, and I can teach you how to do that. And I have proven expertise in helping my clients deliver double-digit sales growth. So here are some kind words from colleagues and clients. This is Christine Taylor. Christine is the president of Gurney Counseling Center, and this is what she has to say about my capabilities. Deb has taught me so much about strategic planning. Even though the counseling center had been around for more than 30 years when I acquired it, I needed to develop my own vision. And hearing how Deb approaches strategic planning and that process helped me to see how I could build on our success. So thank you, Christine. And this from Jennifer Krause, founder and CEO of NGen LLC. And I believe Jennifer is in our masterclass this evening. So Jennifer says, Deb has taken my business to the next level. I was amazed at how big business strategic planning processes could quickly and easily be applied to my small consulting firm. Thanks to Deb's teaching, I can speak easily about my marketing channels ROI, which led directly to decisions that increased my income per client over 11% in the first year. Thank you, Jennifer, for your kind words. And I am to be recognized next week, in fact, by NABO Chicago. NABO is the National Association of Women Business Owners that is a unified voice for over 10 million women business owners in the U.S., representing the fastest growing segment of the economy. NABO propels women entrepreneurs like myself into economic, social, and political spheres of power worldwide. I am the regional leader of NABO Chicago North Connects in Lake Forest. And I will be receiving this award as a result of my volunteer service in bringing business education like the Strategic Planning Academy to the organization. So now I want you to take a moment, take a breath, and picture your future. It's already April, it's almost May. Think about your business. How has business been for you so far this year? Do you know your results? And are you happy with those results? Are you asking yourself the question, could I have done better? And now I want you to think a little bit further down the road and imagine having your SMART strategic plan before the 4th of July in 7 weeks. Focusing on the right projects and being able to say no to the wrong projects with confidence. Wow, being able to say no with confidence, that's pretty powerful. And having your strategic plan aligned throughout your business. Everyone working on common objectives, breaking down those silos. So I want to introduce you to the Strategic Planning Academy. So the one thing that I want to leave you with today, when you reflect back on our time together, the one takeaway that I want you to leave with is that the Strategic Planning Academy does this. It will take you from feeling stuck in the status quo to feeling energized with a path forward, a direction, clarity on objectives and strategies and metrics and initiatives and resources, and experiencing a business transformation that is propelled by a strategic plan that is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. A plan that is SMART. That's the one thing I want you to remember. In the Academy, there are 7 education pillars, and each pillar addresses a set of pain points or challenges that your business may be facing, and the solutions that the educational lessons help to address. So pillar number 1 is your organization's purpose. Pillar number 2 is data. Pillar number 3 is insights. Pillar number 4 is integration. Pillar number 5 is action. Pillar number 6 is communication. And pillar number 7 is evergreen. In the Academy, there are 7 educational course modules that are supported by the pillars underneath. Module number 1 is goal identification and project planning. And that is supported by pillar number 1, your organizational purpose. Module number 2 is it's all about the data, which is supported by pillar number 2, data. And data is going to be instrumentally important to your planning effort. Module number 3 is the research bridge. And that is supported by pillar number 3, which is insights. Module number 4 is the strategic plan, which is supported by pillar number 4, integration. Module number 5 is the Balanced Scorecard, which is supported by pillar number 5, action. Any strategic plan worth its salt has to be actionable and measurable and realistic and timely. Module number 6 is the communications plan, and module number 7 is the quarterly business reviews, supported by pillar number 7, evergreen, meaning that your strategic planning process can no longer be strictly an annual event. It needs to be a quarterly process, and we'll talk more about that when we talk about module 7. So let's talk a little bit about the pain points or challenges that you may be experiencing and the solutions that the education in module 1, goal identification and project planning, addresses. So think about your business right now and think about, could you clearly articulate the issues and challenges that you currently are experiencing and actually put pen to paper articulating what those challenges are? Perhaps you have, your planning process is driven from a top-down process, and that your senior executives and your leadership and your board members, as an example, are responsible for the strategic planning efforts. But perhaps you're not tapping in to the subject matter experts, those people who are doing the day-to-day work, who have their opinions, their perspectives, their diverse thoughts, and you want to make sure that you're inclusive in the planning process and putting your planning team together. So those are issues that you may be experiencing. And you also may have employees who are working in different departments and they're all working on their own projects, but they're not really integrated, they're not really connected, and they're certainly not working towards common objectives. So those are some pain points that Module 1 educational content will address. So in Module 1, you'll learn about how to identify your goals, how to articulate your goals and objectives. You'll get underneath some of those business issues and problems by conducting root cause analysis. You'll put together your project plan, but because strategic planning is a process, it is a project. You have to have a project team and guidelines and objectives and deliverables. And you need to also be considerate of your stakeholders' communications. How are you communicating to your employees, but also to your key stakeholders? And so these are some of the solutions and educational training that we go through to address these pain points in Module 1. In Module 2, it's all about the data. And here we really do a deep dive looking at what types of data, data sets, data information you have available for analysis. And you may find that you don't have the right data, or it's been quite some time since you invested in market sizing study or market research or customer satisfaction or customer needs research. And this may be a good opportunity to think about maybe you might want to make an investment in that area. Another pain point and challenge when it comes to data is you don't have the right information, you have insufficient reporting and decision support capabilities, you just don't have the right information to make an informed decision. And then another big pain point that we see a lot in our consulting work is businesses are very focused internally. They're really focused on the day-to-day operations, putting out fires, and they're lacking an external focus. They're really not pulling in insights coming from their industry, their competition, their marketplace. If they're a government-regulated organization, how is that impacting the business operations and the results? And so we really are advocating in Module 2 to not only focus internally, which of course is important, but to really have a purposeful approach to gathering external data points so that you're bringing them in to make an informed business strategy and decision. And then some of the educational lessons in Module 2 speak to how you gather some of those data sets, how you go through the collection process, how you process that information, how you analyze it, and then how you extract the insights out of that analysis effort. Module number 3 is the research bridge. And in Module 3, we're talking here about pain points relating to the inability to extract knowledge from data analysis. And this is a really big miss in many businesses that we work with, is businesses struggle with how do you synthesize all this business information, all this data, and make sense out of it all. And so we have an opportunity in Module 3 to educate you in how you actually do that. How do you take all these data sets, internal and external, and make sense of it all and pull those insights out of that effort to inform your strategy development. So right now, some of those pain points are organizations don't have the ability to do that effectively, and there's no way to inform the SWOT. And so the ability, when you're starting pulling insights out of data in your analysis effort, you're getting clarity on the strengths you have as an organization, where you have weaknesses, what opportunities you may be missing, and then threats that are emerging on your industry and on your organization. So the research bridge is an incredible component to strategic planning. It is the great, I wrote a blog about it not that long ago. I called it the Great Continental Divide. It's where you have information if you're lucky, and you're not extracting the insights from it, and the data and the insights kind of fall off, and it's not informing your business strategy. And so that's an unfortunate circumstance, but we address that in Module 3. And then there's no confidence in the data that you do have. So some of the solutions and some of the educational lessons in Module 3 talk about that process. And we walk you through step by step how you extract data out of your data sets and analysis efforts and actually find those insights to inform your business strategy creation. We actually build a matrix where you're able to physically move those insights onto a matrix so that at the end of the process, you have clarity on what is important and how to develop your marketing strategy, how to inform your sales strategy, how to inform your operations strategy. So the research bridge is a critical component to strategic planning. It is a process that I personally developed over these 25 years of working, doing this kind of work and understanding that miss. And it also impacts the organization enterprise-wide. So it really helps identify opportunities for growth, for revenue, for sales, opportunities to maximize revenue from your current products and services, while you're simultaneously identifying opportunities to innovate and create new value for your customers that could then lend itself to future revenue down the road. And so we are then going through that process together, again, step by step. Module number 4 is the strategic planning process. It's actually the module that has the most lessons in the academy. And this is probably the module that you're most familiar with when you think about strategic planning. And in many cases, some of the pain points that we're addressing with our training is that the need to clearly articulate your mission as an organization, your vision, what's your purpose and where do you see yourself, 3, 5, 10 years out or longer. That you're struggling trying to articulate your core values as an organization. And this is really interesting that the consulting work that we do is that many organizations, if I ask them off the cuff, if I was at a networking event, could you tell me what your core values are as an organization? Really interesting that when people are interviewing for a job, one of the things they want to know is what are the core values of that potential employer. And in some cases, organizations struggle with the ability to do that, to clarify and articulate what those values are. And then there's a lack of aligned strategies and objectives. People are working in their silos, they're not working on common objectives, and they're also not being held accountable. And then there's a lack of targeted innovation. And this is where organizations are stuck. They're stuck in the status quo. They're not realizing their financial objectives. They're not innovating or building a pipeline of future value or future revenue. And we address that in module number 4. And then module number 5 is the action component. Any strategic plan worth its salt has to be actionable and measurable and specific and timely. It has to be smart. And so in module 5, we're talking about the Balanced Scorecard, which is actually this template that I have behind me. It's a way of taking your business strategy, which typically can be a beautiful narrative with charts and graphs in a binder that may be sitting in a file cabinet somewhere collecting dust. And we've done strategic planning for a long time, and we have been part of that problem for many years with organizations who want to plan this way. It's a traditional way of planning. And that the end result of the deliverable of that is a report in a binder, but it's not actionable, and people don't work with a stack of documents in a binder. It's just not an easy way to actually implement your business strategy. And so in Module 5, we're talking about how to take your plan that you just created in Module 4 and look at your business from 4 different perspectives. And so the Balanced Scorecard is a way and a methodology of helping you plan not only from a financial perspective, which of course many organizations is their sole focus, but really helping you plan from a customer perspective, an operations perspective, and an employee perspective. And then making that plan actionable, it allows you then to realign your resources. You get clarity on your priorities, and then you're able to more effectively align your financial resources and your human resources to capitalize on those opportunities for growth. And another challenge and issue when it comes to strategic planning is the focus on building the plan, but not necessarily implementing the plan. And it's hard to implement when you're working with a stack of documents that are this thick in a binder, and it makes it very hard to drive performance and drive accountability in your organization. And so the solutions and the educational lessons that we talk about in Module 5 is helping you get clarity on your performance objectives and your metrics and your measures, and clarity and alignment on priorities. So imagine if you, in your organization, have your team and your leadership all aligned, all working towards common objectives because you jointly came to those priorities and everybody had an opportunity to participate and share their points of view and their perspectives, and you jointly prioritized and you came to consensus on those priorities. Very, very powerful, very much needed in business planning. And then the 6th module is the communications module. And so here we're really focused on issues regarding communicating with your team of employees and your key stakeholders. And in many cases, you may find that you have employees that are not necessarily engaged. And maybe one of the reasons why they're not engaged is because they were not involved or invited to participate in the planning process. And we've been doing planning a long time, and one of the most valuable lessons that we learned and that we advocate for when we work with businesses like yours is ensuring that you're not just planning with strictly the leadership of the organization. You want to make sure that you have your subject matter experts around the table. You want to make sure that you have your different functional areas represented. You want to make sure that you have different levels of your employee base, your senior leaders certainly, but then maybe some of your middle managers and even some of your more junior staff or young professionals around the table. That goes a long way in engaging your employees. And another opportunity is making sure that the messaging that you're sending about your planning effort, what the expectations are, what's coming, how you talk about your new strategy is that you have a consistent message throughout the organization, because that impacts your brand and it impacts your employees' satisfaction and retention. So you want to make sure that you are consistent with your messaging and that everybody is basically communicating the same thing, and that message is disseminated on a uniform basis. And everybody is in alignment. It's a beautiful thing. So in Module 6, we're talking about communications. We talk about how to make sure that you are engaging your employees and communicating very early on in the process, even before you may begin the process. Even when you're putting your team together, you might want to consider who on your team might be a great candidate to participate on your planning team. And by speaking with your employees, speaking with your stakeholders, you may decide to build your planning team that has a really good, diverse set of opinions around the table. That's invaluable. And so that's important from a communication standpoint. And then once you engage those people as part of your planning effort, when you go to implement and you go to roll out your strategic plan, you already have built buy-in. You have cohesiveness and alignment throughout your employee base. Very powerful. And then the seventh module, the final module of the Academy, is the quarterly business reviews. And the pain points that the quarterly review process addresses is really getting you out of the comfort zone of the status quo is acceptable. Well, it's acceptable, it's comfortable, but it no longer it no longer serves you. If you're not growing, if you're not getting the return on investment that you're looking for, if you're losing your good people, all of these business challenges and pain points need to be addressed. And if you plan on strictly an annual basis, you will miss many opportunities to improve your performance, to keep your good people, to provide opportunities and capitalize on opportunities for growth. So the status quo can no longer be acceptable. You can no longer miss opportunities for revenue and margin improvement, and you really don't want to be in the 9-month dead spot. And so this is the spot where organizations who do plan on an annual basis find themselves. They're planning for the next year. They're putting all their objectives together and metrics and KPIs. They're aligning their resources, and then they don't do it again for another full year. But many things are happening. Again, we're focusing not just internally now, we're focused externally. So every quarter you need to do an internal and an external scan. What do you know now about your business and about your environment, your industry? If you're if you're a government regulated company, what's going and how does that impact your planning effort? What's going on with your competition? Are they innovating? Are they delivering and bringing new products to market? Are they creating new value? Are they gaining market share? So every quarter you need to be doing it's almost a light version of an internal and external environmental scan to understand what do you know now that you didn't know a quarter before. And then take that into your quarterly review planning process. You will then reprioritize your objectives and you'll replan and reforecast. So your planning process becomes quarterly, not annually, and it's evergreen. It is always being refreshed. You're always refreshing your priorities based upon data and information. And then again, able to capitalize on those opportunities that may have presented themselves this quarter, but if you didn't go through the quarterly planning process, you will have missed those opportunities. So we'll learn about that and we'll teach you those lessons in Module 7. So in the Academy, here are the 7 course modules. Module 1, Goal Identification and Project Planning. Module 2, it's all about the data. Module 3, the Research Bridge. Module 4, the Strategic Plan. Module 5, the Balanced Scorecard. Module 6, the Communications Plan. And Module 7, the Quarterly Business Reviews. And here it is. Here is the Strategic Planning Academy. 7 modules, 40 lessons in 7 weeks. So let's talk a little bit about the modules and the lessons. So in Module 1, is goal identification and project planning. And again, that really speaks to pillar number 1, your organizational purpose. So in Module 1, there are 5 lessons. Lesson number 1 is the purpose of data analysis. Lesson number 2 is the business problem, impact, and root cause. Lesson number 3 is a project work plan. Yes, strategic planning process is a project in and of itself. You need a project work plan. Lesson number 4 is a stakeholder communication plan. And lesson number 5 is a project process, timelines, and deliverables. Module number 2, it's all about the data, and it is all about the data. And in Module 2, we have 5 lessons. Lesson 1, data requirements. What types of data do you need? Internal, external. Lesson number 2, data collection. Where is the data? How do you get it? How do you collect it? Lesson number 3, data processing, manipulation, understanding your data sets. Lesson number 4, the actual analysis process. And lesson number 5, reporting and decision support. Module number 3 is the Research Bridge. This is probably one of the most important modules of the entire Academy. And this is proprietary to SMB This is something that I personally developed over many years of working with businesses, large, small, in all industries. This is the missing link in strategic planning right here. Module number 3, the research bridge, 5 lessons. Lesson number 1, the purpose of the bridge. Why do we need to do this? Why is it so important? Lesson number 2, the matrix. Trust me when I say if you did the matrix, you would have a really good sense of what your marketing strategy needed to be, your sales strategy, your brand strategy, where you needed to innovate, how you could capitalize on generating incremental revenue right now with your current portfolio of products and services. The bridge is significant. And lesson number 3 is the level of complexity, and it is complex, but it's worth it. And I teach you how to do that. And again, that's the module where we're synthesizing all the data that you've collected, analyzed, processed, and we're looking for those insights. We're looking for, what do we need to know about our customers? What do we need to know about our value proposition? Is it relevant? Is it authentic? Is it differentiated? Yes or no? Where are the gaps? And that the bridge can help inform. Lesson number 4 is the impact business-wide, because the bridge will inform your functional departments' strategies as well in support of your overarching business strategy. And then lesson number 5 in module 3, we build your research bridge. And it's step by step. And here we are at module number 4, the strategic plan. And so this is the module that you may be most familiar with. The articulation of your vision statement, your core values, your target market and customers, competitive analysis, articulating your value proposition. Are you on point? Are you missing opportunities? Do you have gaps? It's informing your marketing and sales plan, your operations plan, your financials, and your employees. Do you have the right people to deliver on your strategy? Do they have the right skills and talents, the right fit? And are they held accountable for results? And all that is in the 10 lessons of module 4. So module 4 is the big one. But think about this. We are leveraging what we already learned, the 5 lessons in module 1, the 5 lessons in module 2, and the 5 lessons in module 3. 15 lessons before we even build your strategic plan. And then you're not done, because once your plan is developed, we are going to work on module number 5, which is your balanced scorecard. Again, that's this document behind me. And usually the scorecard is on 2 pieces of paper. It's an Excel spreadsheet, very easy to work with. We're not advocating for a binder and a file cabinet collecting dust. The balanced scorecard is a tool that you will have on your desk, that you will have and your colleagues will have, working towards those common objectives. That's what the work looks like, and that's how they're going to be held accountable for performance. So module 5, building your balanced scorecard. Lesson number 1 is the purpose of the scorecard. Lesson number 2 is to develop the performance objectives and your measures. Lesson number 3 is setting targets and prioritizing initiatives. Lesson number 4 is making sure you're strategically allocating your resources, your human and your financial resources. And then lesson number 5 is developing your operating budget. And then we move into module number 6, the communications plan. It's 5 lessons in module number 6. What are you communicating? Why are you communicating it? To whom are you communicating it? When, where, and how? And then the last module is module number 7, again, supported by that pillar of evergreen, is the quarterly business reviews. 5 lessons in module number 7. Reviewing your actual performance to your plan and to your prior period. Lesson number 2 is the external scan. Lesson number 3 is the internal scan. Lesson number 4 is reprioritizing your objectives. And lesson number 5, replan and reforecast. And you're going to be doing this module number 7, every quarter. And it's going to be informed by all the other work that preceded it. So 7 modules, 40 lessons in 7 weeks. So now I have a question for you. Would you like me to help you create your strategic plan by the 4th of July in 7 weeks? We could do this. So you're in the right place if You're stuck. You feel vulnerable. You know you need to do something significant to get out of the status quo, but how? You're in the right place if your current planning process isn't really a process and your peers and superiors have tagged you to solve the problem and right the ship, or you are responsible, you are the leader of your organization, or you are the owner of your business, but you really need to solve this problem. You're in the right place if you need to develop your strategic plan right now. And you know that this is not a trivial process. I just showed you that. And that it can take months and months with significant investment in outside consultants to do it the traditional way. And we're experts at doing it the traditional way, but we found a better way. And you're also in the right place if you understand that this is a long process and an expensive one that your business can't afford to fund. And let me say this, as a consultant and doing this for a living with clients, especially when we're working with small businesses, small to mid-sized businesses who are looking to grow and they have limited investment opportunities, paying an outside consultant is a hard thing to do. And so the Academy provides an opportunity for you to learn the skills. You're not paying an outside consultant to learn about your business, which of course they will by going through the process. You are the expert in your business, and you are the ones who can develop the skills and the competencies in strategic business planning, and we show you how. So you have two options. Either number one, you don't develop your smart strategic plan and you're in the same place or maybe worse next year, or you 100% commit to creating and implementing your strategic plan this year using a proven step-by-step roadmap. I'd like to propose a solution. If you're ready to develop your strategic plan by the 4th of July, then I'd like to invite you to join me inside the Strategic Planning Academy. And my course promise to you is this. In this course, you will go from feeling stuck in the status quo to feeling energized with a path forward, experiencing a business transformation propelled by a strategic plan that is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. SMART. So who should take the course? Anyone in business who is looking to shift out of the status quo and propel their business forward. It's valuable for business students. I've had many calls from business students who are in business programs at their universities or graduate programs interested in the course. Startups, certainly. Solopreneurs, mid-level, senior level managers, organizational leadership, and business owners. It's also valuable as a professional development opportunity for your talented employees. And here I just want to add a comment that you may find in your organization that you've got some shining stars. And they could be young professionals, millennials, who are looking for that next step up, that next promotion. This is a terrific opportunity for them to learn how to do business planning from a strategic point of view, a data-driven point of view, one that will truly transform your business and give them an opportunity to learn the skills. You will find that they will contribute at a greater level. They'll be more productive and they'll be more engaged, and your employee retention numbers will improve. So how is the course facilitated? The 7 modules that we just spoke about will be released sequentially on Monday mornings over a period of 7 weeks. So the materials, the lessons, the 5 lessons in modules 1 through 3, the 10 lessons in module 4, and then the 5 lessons in module 5 through 7 will be recorded step-by-step instruction by me and will be recorded. In each week, you will have access to that week's modules of recorded videos with step-by-step instructions, literally step-by-step. Do 1, do 2, do 3. The training materials will include recorded video with those step-by-step instructions, slides, tools, templates, checklists, PDFs of reference materials, resource materials, and then video and audio transcript files. So you get the 7 access to the 7 course modules, and then I'm offering a bonus that when you're in the academy, not only will you get the course modules put into your member library, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I will be conducting twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, live online question and answer periods. So you will be working with the materials that you will have access to on Monday mornings at 8 o'clock. The materials will be in your member library. But then twice a week, I will be live online for you to ask all your questions. And so I will be answering all your questions on those 2 days. And if we need more time during the week for me to answer your questions, and we'll do it live, but those sessions are also recorded. So you'll have access to those recordings. So that's bonus number 1. You get the 7 modules, and then you have twice a week live Q&A sessions. And I just wanted to make this comment about not being special, because I'm not special. I don't have access to exclusive experts or technology or super duper resources. I just have a proven roadmap that I follow every single time I help clients develop and implement their strategic plans. So if I can do it, you can do it. So here's another bonus, bonus number 2. Not only do you get access to all the course materials and modules every Monday morning for 7 weeks, and the twice a week live Q&A sessions where I can answer all your questions, but you will be participating in an online community of other business professionals who are going through the academy at the same time. So you have access to the step-by-step instruction, but you also have access to each other. So that there is an online community of peers. If you have a question, you can post it in the online community. Chances are I'll answer the question, or one of our community managers will answer the question, or one of your peers in the academy will answer the question. And it's a great opportunity to share best practices, share challenges. Hey, I'm struggling with, the matrix in module 3, and get feedback and support from your peers in the online community. Really powerful. So of course, this question always comes up, and I have to talk about the money back guarantee. And I do offer a money back guarantee, but I'm really only looking to work with serious action takers. So you would need to show that you gave the academy a serious try before requesting a refund. And I do this because I'm not looking for tire kickers, but really people that are really motivated to get through this process and get their plans developed so that they can begin implementing by the 4th of July. And I want you to dive in and get results quickly. But if you do the work and you're still not satisfied, all I ask is that you show me your work up until module 3, which is the goal identification and project planning, the data module, and then the research bridge module. I'd like to see that you gave it the good old college try. And if you do that before May 31st, then I'll gladly give you a refund. So again, in the academy, you're getting the 7 educational course modules. Bonus number 1, the twice week live Q&As. Bonus number 2, online community of peers. And the beautiful thing here is that though that community goes on indefinitely, even after the course ends, lifetime. You have access to that community. These are people that you're going to learn from, that are going to become your friends, your colleagues, your peers, all learning the same thing you are, doing it for their businesses. So you're going to benefit greatly by the step-by-step instruction, but you're going to benefit as well by your online community of peers. And then bonus number 3, because we're going through this process together, there will be many questions that will be asked. And so I'm going to be including an online frequently asked question library. So as I continue to get everybody's questions and answer those questions, we are going to be recording those, making them available in our FAQ library that you can access in your library, access in the online community indefinitely. So if you're building your plan right now for the 4th of July, and say you're coming and it's October, and you're looking to do your quarterly business reviews, and you may need to have a better understanding, or maybe you forgot some key topics or key points in that module, you have the ability to certainly go back to your course library because all the content will be there, but you also can literally type in a question in the online community, and there will be people that will pop up and answer your questions immediately, myself included. So 3 bonuses on top of the educational course content. Okay, so right about now you're thinking, okay, Deb, tell us how much this is. What is the price? And you're likely thinking I'm going to charge thousands of dollars for the program. And the truth is I probably should. It's that good. And a lot of what we're training you on is proprietary. You won't find this training anywhere. Trust me, I've done my own research. It's that good. And the results you can create for yourself are big. So, but I want this program also to be affordable to you. I want it to be realistic. And I want you to be able to enroll today, jump in, get started developing your smart strategic plan. So that's why I decided to price it much less than I likely would. And I wanted to share kind of a reality with you of when we work with clients, in-person consulting, our strategic planning fees, working with businesses, maybe a division of a larger company or a small business, on the low end, it's about $39,000 for a project like this, and it can go up to 52. It depends on the business model of our clients, the level of complexity, the number of products, and those factors that could result in maybe an even higher fee. But usually this is the ballpark that we work in. It's a 39,000 to 52,000, and trust me when I say I've been there, and I've been presenting to boards and presenting to CFOs and talking about all this work that I just shared with you and why it costs $39,000 or $52,000 or $46,000 for in-person consulting. And many small businesses can't afford that. And so this is actually how I came to develop the Academy, is because there's a lot of good knowledge that I want to be able to share with you that could truly transform your business and push you out of that status quo and push you forward. And this is the type of training and education that can help you do that. And I know you can't spend $39,000. So this is what the course costs. It cost $7,800. I've done my research. I've talked to my colleagues. I've talked to other online educators, online business educators, and they're saying, you know what, Deb, this number sounds good to us, $7,800. And then I thought about that, and I thought, well, really? I mean, I know many of you are serious about creating a plan like this, but that price point would be tough for you, and I understand that. So I cut it in half. So this is what the course costs. They're $3,900. So not only am I cutting the price in half from $7,800 to $3,900, but it's 10% of what I would charge you if I engage with you on a consulting project. And there are 7 modules and 40 lessons in the Academy. So roughly, the cost to you is roughly $100 a lesson. And this is what you get. For $100 a lesson, 40 lessons. The research bridge alone, oh my gosh, when I think about that, the purpose of the bridge, building the matrix, would cost you $100. Wow, that's amazing to me. So my point here is that there is a lot of value, 40 lessons, $100 a lesson, and that's $4,000, and then I brought it down to $3,900. So let's look at the value this way. If we start from my in-person consulting charges, we'll take the low end, the $39,000. For this course, I'm going to give you my knowledge, my expertise that I've learned over 25 years, and all different shapes and sizes of businesses, really small, really large, different industries. I'm going to share that with you. And the learning community, access to the learning community through the Academy for a significant discount. So I'm committed to you being successful and able to develop your plan by the 4th of July for $3,900. But I'm not done. But wait, I really want to make you successful and ready to go. So I'm offering a payment plan option. You can choose to pay a one-time payment of $3,900 or a payment plan in 2 installments. Pay $1,950 today and pay the final and second installment in 30 days for another $1,900 and $1,950 in 30 days. So $1,950 twice or $3,900 today, a one-time payment. And here's another bonus. If you decide to pay the full payment of $3,900 today you will get 1 free hour of review and feedback on your completed strategic plan at the end of the course. So I'm offering the first 10 people who purchase and pay the full price of $3,900 will qualify for a review of your strategic plan at the end of the course. So here it is, the fast action bonus. This is the bonus I spoke to early on in our discussion today. The bonus offer states if you're one of the first 10 to purchase here today and pay the full price, you'll get the free 1-hour review at the end of the course. And all you need to do to get that fourth bonus is enroll while we're still here live. And very shortly, I'm going to be moving us into a Q&A session. And so if you enroll in the course before I end the Q&A session here today, you will qualify for that 1-hour review at the end of the course. So let's walk through the ordering process. If you do decide to purchase the Academy, this is where you would go. You would go to our website, smbvaluepartners.com/SPA-YES. And this is where you land. You land on what we call our sales page. And you have the 2 options to purchase the minute you land on this page. You have an option to pay in full. Click that button, you go right to the checkout, or click the 2 installment payment option, and also go to the order form. And then you can also scroll down, and there's a lot more information for you about the Academy, basically recapping some of the things that I shared with you today in the masterclass that you can review also on our website. So I encourage you, if you are interested, to please go to the website, smbvaluepartners.com/SPA-YES, and then make your purchase decision. And this is what you'll see when you go into the sales form, the order form. You'll see the options to click on the either buy the 2 installment way or pay the one-time payment, the full price. And this is what the order form actually looks like. So you can see that we're accepting credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. We also will do ACH payments if you do need to have an electronic invoice, that SMB Value Partners would submit an electronic invoice, and you can pay that through ACH processing. That's fine too. Just send me an email if that's something that you'd like to do. And then you'll see here what you get when you make your purchase. Upon purchase, we will move the introductory materials. Many of you may be familiar with the series of podcasts that I've created, as well as the videos of each module that are already completed. And we will move all of the audio files and all of those video files along with the strategic planning assessment checklist into your member library within a day or 2 of purchase. So you can start looking at the materials, listening to the podcast, getting more information about each of the modules before the course actually begins on Monday, May 13th. So we encourage you to go into your member library and start doing your homework. And then on Monday mornings, beginning Monday, May 13th, Module 1 will be moved into your member library with all those resources that I mentioned. And then Module 2 will come the following Monday, and so on. So the last module will come to you, Module number 7, the quarterly business reviews, will come into your member library on Monday, June 24th by 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And then we welcome you into the Academy. And this is the order form for the installment order. Same order form, obviously different payment processing. And then when you do come into the Academy and join us, you will receive a welcome email from us. And so look for the subject line, your new SPA Strategic Planning Academy account. We give you your username and password, and then you are able to go in. You'll get a confirmation of your order. Thank you for purchasing. And then we will give you, again, login information to sign into your account. And when you sign into your account, you will land in your member area and your library. And this is where your SPA, Strategic Planning Academy, content will be found. And this library will be available to you, all the modules, all the lessons, forever. This is your place. So again, if you take the course with me right now, You will have access to this when you do your quarterly reviews in October. When you think about planning for the following year, you'll have access to come back to your library and work with the materials. And again, you'll also have access to the online community, because once the course ends, we will move you into an insiders group where that dialogue and knowledge sharing continues indefinitely. Very powerful. Again, here are the payment plans: one-time payment, $3,900, or a two-payment plan for $1,950 each. 7 modules, 40 lessons in 7 weeks. This is where you go to purchase: smbvaluepartners.com/spa yes. You get the 7 educational course modules. And if you would like to join us, we're having some additional master classes tomorrow. We have one tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning, Central Daylight Time. If you'd like to join us again tomorrow, please register to do so. We're also offering the same master class on Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. And again, the last one on Wednesday, May 1st at 7 o'clock a.m. Central Daylight Time. So we're trying to accommodate different time zones. Again, 7 modules, 40 lessons, 7 weeks, $3,900. Go here to purchase. The shopping cart will be open. We do have a time frame. Tuesday, May 7th at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, the shopping cart will close. So you have between now and then to make a decision. Visit our website, get more information. If you visit the smbvaluepartners.com/SPA website, you can visit our media page, excuse me, and listen to our podcast and our videos that are already on our website to maybe help you make your decision. But if you do it today, if you purchase now, you get obviously the additional bonus opportunity. So Tuesday, May 7th, the shopping cart will close at 8 p.m. So I'm about ready to start a 30-minute Q&A session. For those of you who have questions, please share those questions with us. I've actually already received some questions in advance from some of you. So I'm actually going to just respond to some of the questions, but please feel free to note your questions down below on your screen. And I will promise you this: if I don't get to your question specifically in this 30-minute time frame, I will send you an email with an answer to your question. And then, of course, I will also be keeping track of all the questions so that I will include all of those in the FAQ library, that we will continue to accumulate questions over time. We'll make that a very valuable resource to you also. So the first question, I'm going to start the clock here, and we'll begin with the Q&A sessions. So the clock is ticking. 30 minutes to make a decision of if you want to buy the $3,900 Strategic Planning Academy. In the next 30 minutes, you will be put into the queue for the qualification for your 1-hour free assessment of your strategic plan at the end of the course. So one of the first questions I'm going to answer, the first question is, the Facebook Lives where you answer questions on Tuesdays and Thursdays each week, do you record those sessions? Yes. And I want to be really clear about this. You have access to the online library of frequently asked questions, but you'll also have access to the online community indefinitely. So, and we manage those communities. So we will be looking for your questions, and we will be responding to your questions live. I will literally be taking your questions live during Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll schedule an appropriate time. And if we find that there are many questions and not enough time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll schedule another time that week to answer your questions. But the answers to your questions will be available in the FAQ library, and also available the recording of that Q&A session. Each Q&A session each week for each module will be recorded and available for you in the online community. So you'll be able to find your answers. Great question. Actually, another part of this question, this is good. Will we be able to search in the Facebook community by question category? and view all the responses. Yes. So we will make sure when we build the FAQ library, we continue to populate it, that it's easily searchable. So you could put in just any type of a parameter about a question parameter, and we'll make it easy and provide a menu option for you. And you can ideally find the answer that you're looking for. Okay, great, another good question. Debs, you stated I'll have access indefinitely to all of the modules, lessons, and supporting documents indefinitely. So how long is indefinitely? It's literally indefinitely. And we say this, you will have lifetime access to all the course materials, all the online community, all the recordings, all the step-by-step instructions forever. So when you think about an investment of $3,900 for the 7 modules and the 40 lessons over an indefinite period of time, we think that's pretty significant and pretty valuable. So here's another good question. After the course is over, so the course ends, the period is May 13th to June 28th. That's the 7-week period. What kind of support is available for me when I start to implement the strategic plan that I developed in the Academy? This is a great question. And the answer here is, think about this. I'll share this with you. When we do strategic planning for clients, and we are in there facilitating, and we become experts in their businesses, and at the end of the engagement, when we facilitate the meetings, we've helped them with data analysis, building their bridge, etc., we go away and we move on. But they are left to implement that strategic plan. And in the Academy, you're never left alone. In fact, that may be a problem for you, but my point is that you will have your private online community available to you always. You'll have access to me, your instructor, always. And I will personally touch base several times a month. I'll be in the community answering all your questions live. And we have resources and community managers that are in there moderating. They're paying attention to what you're posting. They're paying attention to what you're challenged by, because we want to make sure that as we continue to evolve the Academy and upgrade it and enhance its educational value, we want to make sure that we're going to be paying attention to what your learning experience is. And I'm also always available via email. Oh, and here's something from Jennifer. Hi, Deb, this is Jen. So happy to be part of this, as you have helped me in my business so much. I am curious, do you have a profile of the types of businesses or of the people who would be in the online community? Again, the Academy is open and appropriate for many different types of businesses. So you may find other consultants. Jennifer is a consultant, a business consultant. You may find many, and you probably will, many other business consultants who are doing this work for their clients. You may find manufacturing individuals, people who are working and leading, or small business owners in the manufacturing space who are in the Academy. So the beautiful part of this is there's a great deal of diversity in the student body. It's literally an online student body. And so another part of the value is that you're learning not just from people who look like you, who fit your profile, but from others who are challenged by and engaged in strategic planning for their businesses. So you're learning from their points of view and their perspectives and their challenges. So I appreciate the question. It's a great opportunity certainly to learn about the course itself and the educational modules, but learning from each other and sharing those learning experiences with each other is another great way to build your network, I help people understand where you're having success, and then what you'll find, I really believe you'll find, is that people are very willing, your peers will be very willing to support you as well. So thank you for that question, appreciate that. Oh, another good question. Can you speak to why most strategic planning projects fail? Sure. We talked a lot about the Balanced Scorecard, and this is the template that I have behind me, which is the document that you'll learn about in Module 5. And this is really the accountability piece of strategic planning. And this is the planning component that will help drive accountability for business results. through your efforts. And so, but in many cases, organizations really focus on the financials. And the financials, of course, are critically important. But an organization, in order to develop a strategic plan that is truly transformational, that can really help propel you out of the status quo, is by planning for your business from these 4 different perspectives. So you will have certainly financial objectives, financial initiatives, KPIs, measures, resources that you will be measuring performance, but you'll also have customer objectives and initiatives and performance metrics and resources. You'll have operational objectives, initiatives, measurements, and KPIs and resources. And then you'll also have employee objectives and initiatives and KPIs and resources. So you are now going to be planning for your business holistically, operationally, across your employee base, and at the customer level. And so the thinking in the Balanced Scorecard module is that if you have the right people who are focused on the right work, and the right work means the work that's been prioritized by the organization based upon data and analytics and research building and strategic plan building, you've got all the right people in alignment with the right skill sets and tools, and you have the right internal operations and operational processes that are effective, that are productive, and that you've got the right focus on your customers, that you're making sure that you're offering your customers the right value at the right price, the right channel with the right experience, that those 3 perspectives will drive the financial performance of your organization. So in the Academy, we're focused on enterprise-wide planning, and those 3 other perspectives support the financial health of the organization. So that's just actually one of why some strategic planning projects fail, is because organizations are just doing that. They're not really looking at planning, customer satisfaction or customer retention or employee satisfaction, employee retention, or maybe there are opportunities to improve their workflow processes operationally, and somehow those efforts are going unrecognized. And so the organization, in order to be successful, needs to plan enterprise-wide. Another failure of some strategic planning efforts is the lack of data analysis. And that is module number 2. And module number 3 is really all about data and analysis. So you can see how critically important it is to inform your business strategy with data points. Many small businesses that we work with have been conducting business, may have been in business a long time, but they're not really transforming their business or moving their business forward. And so it's critically important that they are able to, I actually just lost my train of thought, so I apologize. So the data piece of this is really important to make sure that there's a concerted effort to gather, collect, analyze data, extract insights from data, and it's hard. I mean, in many cases, organizations are not necessarily equipped to embark on a market research study that may cost tens of thousands of dollars, or a market sizing study to uncover opportunities for growth. Some of these investments are significant, but what we find with working with small businesses, small to mid-sized businesses, is that you would be surprised with what you know about your customers, your processes, and your people, with information that you already have available, that's sitting on your desktops, that's in a file cabinet somewhere. So one of the things that we advocate for and we teach in our lessons is start with what you currently have, because you'd be surprised with what data sets you already have that you may not have thought about in a while. And so that's a very quick lesson where you say, go look for these types of information in your organization, and let's take a look at what you have, and then we'll decide what you need, where the gap is, and then we'll talk about resources, affordable resources, where you may be able to get additional data points to inform your business strategy. So that is kind of a second point of why most strategic planning projects fail. And a big one is the notion of the bridge. Once you have all this data, and you may have very large data sets, especially when you're looking externally. Internally, those are the data sets you're certainly most comfortable with. But when you're looking externally, what's going on in your industry? Competition, believe it or not, many don't really have a good understanding of what their competitors are doing. Are they innovating? Are they offering new value, new services? Are they changing their price points? What are they doing from a branding standpoint, a marketing, a promotion, social media standpoint? And so the bridge is really important to be able to understand all those factors, internal and external factors. And I know that many organizations are not doing this, because this is a process that I developed, but it's fun, it's paramount to success. And certainly in our experience, it's very powerful. And then probably one of the most important reasons why strategic planning projects fail is that organizations are not developing a SMART plan. They're not specific, they're not measurable, they're not actionable, they're not realistic, and they're not timely. Remember, it's a binder, a beautiful narrative with charts and graphs. It's in a binder in somebody's file cabinet. It's not a balanced scorecard. It's not two pieces of paper that sits on your desk so that when you come into work every day, or your people come into work every day, or your employees come into work every day, they know exactly what they have to do that day, how their work matters. Let me say this. In today's environment, with the job market being what it is, and the unemployment rate being so low, and the ability for young professionals or any professional, business professional, to move, to think about other opportunities, career opportunities, you want to make sure that you're engaging and retaining your good people. One of the most effective ways that I know and that my clients know to do that is by engaging them in this planning process and putting them to work, because everybody wants to come into work every day and know why and how their work matters. That is, look at any exit interview of any employee, and usually one of the things that they talk about was, well, I didn't like my manager. Okay, well, certainly. But what you find is that when you start to kind of peel back the onion, is that what they found is that they weren't valued. Well, value them, engage them. We've been in situations with clients where they had maybe some problematic employees. And we've done this actually, literally, where we said, okay, we maybe have a little bit of a troublemaker in your ranks. Let's engage them. Let's pull them into the process. Let's be inclusive in the process and be very clear about what part of this planning, process we want them to participate in, and give them the tools to be successful, set them up for success, and work with them, coach and mentor, and hold them accountable for results. And that's another thing that's really valuable about the Balanced Scorecard, is that because now you're going to be planning on what? A quarterly basis. You're going to very quickly assess, because one of the first lessons in the quarterly business review, lesson number 1, is review your actuals to your plan and then your prior period. So you're going to look at your plan numbers every quarter and say, up, down. If you're up, fabulous. Celebrate the accomplishment. Thank your team. Thank your organization. Celebrate. But if you're down, have that conversation. Why are you down? But think about the value of doing this in that quarter, as opposed to waiting a full year. And then at the end of the year, you're looking and you're really down, you're really below plan. So engage your people, tell them what you need from them. And if they need some coaching, if they need some training or professional development, give it to them. Especially those that are valuable, those people that may be a diamond in the rough, and maybe they're rough around the edges, but they've got some really great skills and they want to learn. You'll be surprised at how you could turn around a situation like that with a potential performance issue into a turnaround situation where you have one of the biggest advocates, and then all of a sudden you start to see your employee retention numbers improve. You start to see your employee engagement and employee satisfaction. And who knows, over time, maybe you become one of the best 100 places to work for. So it's these types of planning processes and initiatives and thought that goes into the process. And in many cases, it belongs and it comes from your people. And of course, the discipline of effective business planning, informed business planning, data analysis, bridges, quarterly reviews, balanced scorecards. And so in the academy, you are getting all the tools that you need to be successful. But we're also integrating it all together for you. And that's really module 4, is integrating all the components, putting it all together so that you have a plan that is driven by data, informed by data and analysis, that level sets and provides insight to when you are having these meetings that are at the conference table around, you've got people from different levels, different functional areas around the table, all bringing their diversity of opinion and thought to the conversation, and you want to hear from them. And I'll give you an example, we've been facilitating many of the strategic planning meetings with leadership. And one of the things that we learned over time was there's a lot of missing people around this table. There are a lot of vice presidents or business owners, but where are the subject matter experts? Where are the salespeople? Where are the IT people? Where's your, marketing coordinator? And so it's really, there's an opportunity to think about who you want to have on your team to go through this process together. And you want to make sure that you're doing that, not just from different functional areas. You want to hear from the salespeople. You want to hear from your marketing team. You want to hear from the IT guy. But you want to look at people of different levels of authority and responsibility. So sure, you're going to have your CFO, COO, CEO in the room participating. But we have been profoundly surprised, and in a good way, when we've seen many aha moments go off in the minds of senior executives when they're sitting on a conference table next to a marketing coordinator who has a completely different point of view or perspective. But yet the planning effort is a safe place. You're invited in to provide your expertise and your guidance and your recommendations, and you have a platform to be heard. So I've had many senior executives say to that marketing coordinator or that IT manager, oh, I didn't know that. Well, so that's the value of having a diverse and cross-functional group of people participating in the process and making sure that that plan is smart, that you're using a balanced scorecard methodology, and that another part of the thing that's really interesting is the ability to prioritize. And of course, many organizations, the senior executives are setting the priorities. They're deciding what the objectives are, what the priorities are, what the operating budget is, et cetera. And so this is another opportunity to get these different points of view and different perspectives. And everybody is created equal in this forum. And everybody has the equal number of opportunities to vote on what the priorities need to be based upon the data and information that informed that conversation. So you may have a senior executive, and I've seen it happen real time, where you've had a CFO or a CIO or COO focus on, you really need to do X. And okay, well, there are many, you come out of, typically in a traditional strategic planning setting, you're going to come out of that process with multitudes of priorities, but you can't possibly invest in them all or act on them all. So you have to prioritize the priorities. So maybe you have 17 priorities that came out of the process, but you can only activate 4 of them for that year or that quarter. And so you are literally hearing the points of view of other people around the table. And I've seen priorities shift on the fly. Priorities that a senior executive or business owner says, we really need to focus on this because I know it's the right thing to do. And all of a sudden there's somebody over here saying, well, wait a minute, this report that we got from this research project says this, and all of a sudden you start to have different conversations. And that is very, very healthy for a growing business. And then all of a sudden those priorities shift. But then because you are coming to consensus around that conference table with this informed data set and research bridge and you're building your strategic plan, now all of a sudden you have alignment across the organization, different functional areas. And these people become your ambassadors. Very, very powerful way of business planning. I highly encourage it. And I think that if you go through the academy with me, you'll learn how to do that effectively. And that's actually module number 1, goal identification and project planning. And one of the lessons there is putting your team together. Who do you want to have on that team? And you may find, even if you're a solopreneur or you're not even a business owner, but you're thinking you have a great idea and you want to be an entrepreneur and start a business, you are going to have a team of advisors. Maybe you'll have a team of financial advisors, people that want to invest in your company, and you'll need to have this information available so that you can make your business case, so that you get the funding that you need. So even if you're a solopreneur, you're a CPA, you have 15 clients and you're doing accounting work for them, you have the vision to grow and add people and grow your business, get more clients, add more employees. This is a type of effort that can get you there. So these are great questions. Here's another one. You mentioned the course promise. Can you say it again? Yes. And this is the one thing that I want you to take away with you. Remember that one thing that I mentioned? In this course, you will go from feeling stuck in the status quo to feeling energized with a path forward and experience a business transformation propelled by a strategic plan that is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. Using the Balanced Scorecard as a tool to do that. No beautiful narrative in a binder in a file cabinet. Okay, here's a great question. Do I have to buy today? No. You have until 8:00 p.m. Central Daylight Time on Tuesday, May 7th to purchase. So you have time to think about this, consider it. If you have questions, send me an email. If you want to get on the phone and have a conversation, be happy to do so. But if you do purchase, it's going to take us a couple of days to get you set up in your member library, and then we'll start to populate your library with those introductory podcasts and videos so you can start to listen and watch and get a sense of the information. And again, if you buy today, if you have 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to purchase today, and if you're one of the first 10 to purchase, you'll get that free 1-hour assessment of your strategic plan when the course is concluded. Back to the question about the guarantee. Again, yes. If you go through the process with me, but if you get to the end of Module 3, by Module 3, you'll have a pretty good sense if you are feeling really confident about moving forward. But the Module 4, the actually building your strategic plan, is much easier once you've been through Module 1, 2, and 3, because you've done a lot of the hard work to get there. So I just wanted to offer you that. So if you are not feeling totally confident or motivated, just simply reach out, just show us you put in the work, and I'll be happy to refund your investment. So again, if you enroll today, you get the access to the 7 modules released sequentially over the 7 weeks. You'll have your member library with all the course materials. You'll get your bonus. You'll have access to the twice a week live Q&A sessions, which will be recorded. So if you miss them, no problem. On your schedule, you can come back in and rewatch the Q&A sessions, the live Q&A sessions, which will be recorded. So you'll have access to all those answers. Plus, you'll also have access to the FAQ library. Bonus number 2, can't speak highly enough about the online community of peers. Highly valuable. You're not doing this alone. And even if you are a solopreneur, you're not alone, because you're going to have, believe me, other solopreneurs, other startups, people who are doing this, who want to create a business, start a business, but need the assistance to get there. And this is a step-by-step process. So we share that with you and teach you how to do that. Oh, this is a good one. My boss doesn't think strategic planning is necessary. We're okay doing things the way they've always been done. Okay, but only you can answer if doing okay is good enough. But I can tell you that the status quo won't help you transform your business. The status quo, sure, may be comfortable, maybe not so comfortable if you're really not driving financial results or the business results you're looking for. And even if you're a very small business or a solopreneur, having a plan that provides a roadmap to grow your business is fundamental, especially if you are looking for outside funding. Critically important. Ask any banker or anybody who is looking for investors in their business. If you walked into, and I know this, if you walked into a bank and we're talking to a lender, a business lender, and you walked in with that binder that I talk about, the thick binder with beautiful charts and graphs, you know, you may not necessarily get the loan you're looking for. But if you walk in there with the balanced scorecard template with clear thought about how you arrived at those every one of those 4 perspectives, objectives, the strategies, and the metrics that are going to drive performance to achieve those plan numbers, and how you're going to allocate your resources, your people resources, or if you're a solopreneur, you may not necessarily have resources, but if you are looking for, you know, how are you going to allocate the dollars that you do have, or the loan dollars that you are hoping to receive, how are you going to use those investment dollars to fund your business strategy, and how are you going to be able to be accountable for that investment, and how are you going to show that you are able to minimize risk. And so this is music to a lender's ears or an investor's ears, is the thoughtful and pragmatic thinking that goes into the process. And the scorecard, if you walked in to have that kind of a discussion with a business lender, and you walked in with the balanced scorecard and just the balanced scorecard on 2 pieces of paper, an Excel spreadsheet that had it laid out this way, you would have quite a different conversation, and would certainly be very credible by having that conversation. So that is another good question, but only you could answer the question if the status quo is good enough. Oh, okay. I have to admit there's a lot of work here. Seems somewhat complicated. And yes, 40 lessons in 7 weeks. It's a lot. But I'm not going to tell you that it's not a lot of work. You can see that. But what makes it so valuable is that it's a step-by-step process. And the instruction that I provide is literally telling you, do this, and why, of course, do this. So it's a step-by-step process. It's informed. There's a lot of clarity about what you need to do and how you need to do it. And every action that you take follows that step-by-step process and guides you from the beginning to the end. And remember, and I can't say this enough, you're never alone. So even if you're a solopreneur, you're a CPA, and you're in your home office doing accounting work, there's a lot of value here, and you're not alone, and you're going to have other people to share your experience with. Safety in numbers, we like to say, and like-minded business professionals who may come from different industries, different levels, with a different perspective. But that's an education in and of itself. So also part of the value package. And then the community continues long after the course ends. The course will end on June 28th. June 28th, you'll be done. You'll have your strategic plan. But again, that Saturday, that Sunday, 3 months from now, 9 months from now, you can always go back and touch base, check in, ask questions, and the community and I will be here for you. In fact, we don't really leave you alone. You can't get rid of us that easily. And here's another really good one. Then I think I might have spoken to this already. My business is too small. Do I really need a strategic plan? Yes. You need a roadmap. Everybody needs a roadmap, and everybody needs to hold themselves accountable, because, time happens. The clock is ticking, and you need to have a roadmap in front of you that you can follow, and that it's easy to follow. And you're following it not just by yourself, but with others. And then making sure that you're thinking about your business strategy from these 4 different perspectives, not just from a financial point of view. And of course, shouldn't we just hire an outside consultant to guide us through the process? If you absolutely consideration, I do that. I do that for a living as well. And it's certainly a consideration. But if you're a small business or a startup or a solopreneur, you may not have the financial or human resources, because it's not just about the money. It's who do you have on your team who can work with a consultant, who can engage with a consultant. And of course, if you decide to go with someone who is not SMB Value Partners, where I would charge you anywhere between $39,000 and $52,000, and you decide that you really want to have a big name consulting firm, you could add some zeros to those numbers pretty quickly, and very quickly it becomes not affordable. So, but these are really, really great questions. And again, is the Academy worth the investment? Only you can decide that. The 7 lessons, the 40 modules for $3,900. You have 2 options to buy, so it takes some of the pain out of the initial investment. And instead of our normal process when we do planning with clients that takes, like, on average 12 to 14 weeks, because we go into the business and we learn that business. We have to learn that business in order to be effective at our job. And so, that is, your business better than anyone. We don't need to learn your business. You know your business. You know what it takes to run your business. And you need to decide if the Academy is right for you and if that's a price point and that you believe that there's true value there. So I just wanted to share that with you. And again, who should consider taking the course? Any business professional, business owners, students, middle managers, business professionals looking for advancement, looking to build their skills. And that is this tremendous education that will serve you well in this job and the next job. So I'm going to see if there are any other questions, because we have 1 minute and 40 seconds left in our discussion. And I think, bear with me for just a moment.
How about this one?
Okay, we have 1 minute and 23 seconds left.
Trying to get it up.
Bear with us. We have some technical issues here, but I'd like to see if I can answer. And again, if I don't get to your questions in the short time we have left together, I will reach out to you with an answer. And thank you very much for your questions. I will take all these questions and make sure they are included in our FAQ library. So, okay. So I answered Jen's, what type of companies do you recommend take the course to best engage the rest of the team, or do you recommend more than one role engage in learning the process? Okay. I think it is really, important, chief operating officers, chief financial officers, really important to be part of the planning process. But think about your subject matter experts also, and who around you. And even if you're just a really small team, who are your team of advisors, and who can bring different points of view and different perspectives to the conversation, I think is interesting and valuable. And then Jennifer, let me read, hello Deb, this was such a great opportunity. I'm excited by how it will help me focus on my business and really prioritize my efforts. I am worried that after I finish the course, I will lose steam, that I will have my own 3-ring binder that gets put to the side while I deal with the day-to-day issues. Do you offer something that helps make sure that doesn't happen? Do you do check-ins or have accountability partners? Would that be part of the community? I think this is such a compelling offering, and I want to make sure I follow through on execution. Thank you, Jennifer. That is really a terrific question. The community, again, is really what you may find, and this does happen, is that there may be people that you find in the community that become your advocates, that are your peers, where you're engaging with them, or they're answering your questions, you're answering their questions, you're developing a relationship online. And in many cases, some of those resources and some of those students will decide themselves to create an accountability group for themselves. And you may have people in different geographical areas. For example, we're based in Chicago. So for those of you that are Chicago based, regardless of where, what type of business you have, you all have a common objective here, and that is to build a strategic plan for your business. So there's a lot of merit and a lot of value of reaching out and saying, hey, I'm in the Chicagoland area. Do you want to get together and work on this together? And so I think this is a great question. And so my point is that, yes, there are resources. We advocate for that sense of community. We will do everything we can to facilitate accountability partners. And then you, like I said, you will be building these relationships over time, and you will find your people, people who really are sharing the passion that you have to grow your business, who are learning the lessons that you are at the same time every week. And here's another point I want to make, and before we are really running out of time here, is that the modules, the lessons are provided every week. So May 13th, module 1 will be provided, and then module 2 the following week. Many of you may work with the materials at a different pace, and that's okay. But because remember, the modules are going to be put in your member library. So when you get to them, you get to them. And there's no magic to the 4th of July. It's just that if you keep pace with the way the modules are provided, you could literally have your plan developed by the 4th of July. But life happens. Children, soccer, things happen. And so, your day-to-day efforts, your family. So know this, that there's not, it's not a priority that you finish with everyone else. You work with the course materials on your own schedule. They will always be there in your library. If you finish module 3 and you don't get to building your plan until the fall, you'll go back in module in the fall and go back into review 1, 2, and 3 and start on module 4. The materials are the same. They are available to you forever, and you have the community to ask questions. And again, I'm not going anywhere. You're not going to get rid of me that easily. So, and I, again, will facilitate and moderate the forums, the communities. We have community manager resources, and here we are in overtime. So again, if I didn't get to your specific question, I apologize, but I will reach out with the answer and get back to you very, very quickly. So let me see if I can clear this screen here so that we can wrap this up. So bear with me. And here we go. So again, I hope those of you that decided to join us did so, and we will reach out and chat about the bonus, about the review, the 1-hour review of your plan after June 8th, after the course concludes. So just a reminder, the shopping cart is open until Tuesday, May 7th at 8:00 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Here is the URL. It's smbvaluepartners.com/SPA yes. So this is the URL to link to purchase. And then finally, just as a recap, the value of the Academy to you, 7 modules, 40 lessons in 7 weeks. It's $100 per lesson. The course starts May 13th, Monday, goes for 7 weeks through June 28th. There you have access to these bonuses. Bonus number 1, the twice weekly live Q&As sessions, live and recorded, and I'll schedule more if we need more time. Bonus number 2, the online community of peers, even after the course ends. Bonus number 3, the online FAQ library, even after the course ends. 2 years from now, when you're going through this process, or you may shift jobs or purchase another company, and you need to have access to this information, it's in your library. The questions are available in the library. The experience is the same. Bonus number 4, again, we spoke about if you're one of the first 10 who buy here today during that 30-minute countdown, you'll get a 1-hour review by yours truly at the end of the course. And then a final bonus for those of you who are thinking about maybe having some of your colleagues participate in the Academy. There's a lot of value in having your peers and your coworkers participate and go through the learning and education together. And for those of you that are considering that, I have a special bonus offer that if you buy 5 seats in the Academy, you get the 6th seat free. And again, this is the website, the URL, smbvaluepartners.com/SPA yes. And I also wanted to invite you, if you'd like to sit in on some of our following master classes, please do so. Just register so that I know that you'll be in the master class with us. It's tomorrow morning at 11:00 a.m. Central Daylight Time. We'll be doing this again on Sunday afternoon at 5:00 Central Daylight Time, and then Wednesday, May 1st at 7:00 in the morning. So trying to adjust for our time zones. And so please go to smbvaluepartners.com/SPA, SPA, to register for the additional master classes. And I want to make sure that you know this, that the replay of today's master class will be available tomorrow. And I will send you all that URL, that link, through your email. So you'll be able to, if you're interested, watch this again, watch it over and over again, and if you need to, but I will make that available, the replay, and of course it will also be posted up on our website as well for those of you who would like to watch it again. And we'll do the same for those who participate in the other webinars as well. So purchase the course, go to smbvaluepartners.com/spa-yes, and remember, it wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. So plan ahead. Thanks for being with me today. Bye for now.